Just want to make sure it's going before I get up there. Feel free to adjust it if you feel like we need to as far as getting everybody in. So is it going? So you ought to be able to look at your phone and see it on my side, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to go, guys.
Yeah, she said it right. Okay. There we go.
Okay, welcome everybody. We are live on the Ross House back porch, Dr. James A. Ross House in Pikeville, Tennessee. Dr. James A. Ross was a physician here from about 1868 until about 1918 or so. He built this house and this building behind here, which is his medical clinic, in 1872. He was a medic for the South in the Civil War and went from McMinnville, where he was born, and then he went to medical school in Nashville and came, which I think became Vanderbilt Medical Center. And he came to Pikeville in about 1868. He was 34 years old, never married, and he married Jenny Brown, who was about 20 years old at the time, and they had 3 children. Their middle child was Flora Ross, and she married Joe Pope, and one of their daughters was Martha Ross Pope Lee, and that was Bill Lee, my brother here on my right, and mine, our grandmother. And so Dr. Ross was our great-great-grandfather, so it's a lot of privilege. This is the 4th time we've done a concert, either on the porch here or we did a festival on the street back in 2011. But and this is my friend Jack Roberson. Most of you know him if you're from Pikeville, a long-term friend and of our family, and we all grew up playing music together. And it's great to see everybody. And we also are, for my daughter and a few other people who can't be here, we're doing Facebook Live. So maybe Chloe can check her phone in a minute and see if it's broadcasting. We're broadcasting. Chloe's my niece, and she's a professional photographer, right? So let's give a big hand to Bill Lee over here as we start. He's going to play mandolin and acoustic guitar, and then Jack Roberson. Let's give him a big round of applause.
We need to do something first.
That's undeserved at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
I just want to get that out of the way in case I forgot. Don't want to forget to give credit to my brother and my friend who are helping me today. I usually start off my concerts by saying that I was born Edgar Allan Lee III on December 23rd, 1955, to Edgar Allan Lee Jr. and Ann Bryant Lee. And I happened to be born just a block down the street in what used to be known as Bledsoe Memorial Hospital. Now it's the Pikeville Clinic. And Bill and I are 6th generation born in Bledsoe County, descended from John Naramore, Jonathan Pope, and 5th generation descended from Burrow Russell Lee. And I have a song about him we'll be singing tonight, and I have a song about Dr. Ross we'll be singing tonight. Bill's got a song about our uncle T.Y. Swafford that he's going to sing later. And our father was a self-taught historian. He was a lover of country music, and he was a storyteller. Our mother was a city girl, an English teacher, and a lover of literature and poetry. It's kind of interesting when they married. Her maiden name was Bright, as I said a minute ago, and so when she married him, she became Ann B. Lee. And if you know Edgar Allan Poe's poetry, his last poem he wrote before he died was the poem Annabel Lee. So Edgar Allan married Ann B. Lee. So we kind of grew up in a storybook type of home, and that had a lot of influence on the songs that I write and the stories I tell. So this first song we're going to do for you is one I wrote when I was 17 years old, and it tells the story of growing up in this valley that the Cherokees called Sequatchie. On a Cumberland mountain, a winding back road, there's an old yellow school bus on its journey home. On 4 wobbly legs in a patch of blue grass, a day-old filly is standing at last in a little brick house about a mile north of town. A firelight in winter dances around. on the mountains, no school today. So pull on your boots, boy, the horses need hay. Sequatchie once was mine. I hate to see her go. I was born there, made my home there. Growing up was meant to be slow. I see the change in her sky, and the people I'll never know. I am older, I remember her. Sequatchie, long ago, near the county courthouse in the middle of town. Farmers at fruit stands, apples abound. Business was slow, so they always found time for chewing tobacco, willing cedar so fine. A trip to the barber was a weekly event. A shave and a flat top was $1 well spent. And Saturdays you could be your favorite hero, and Pikeville's only picture show. Sequatchie once was mine. I hate to see her go. I was born there, made my home there. Growing up was meant to be slow. I see the change in her sky, and the people I'll never know. I am older, I remember her. Sequatchie, long ago. Grandmother died, the big house was sold. I'd known for some time that we'd all have to go. Debts wouldn't wait, so an auction was held. We sat on the front porch and watched the man sell. They shot down my filly while I was at school. Father said, son, sometimes life can be cruel. The firelight is dying, dancing alone, off in the distance, far from home. Sequatchie once was mine. I hate to see her go. I was born there, made my home there. Growing up was meant to be slow. I see the change in her sky, and the people I'll never know. I am older, I remember her. Sequatchie, thank you. I don't always do this song that fast, but that's one of the nice things. When you write your own songs, you don't have to worry about trying to do it like somebody else. You can't be compared to somebody else as you sing your own music. And I was banging on that guitar a little bit too much and figured I knocked it out of tune. This is a 1974 Martin. That's a 1954 Gibson, right?
That's right.
that Gibson was made. We have this rivalry about Gibson and Martin. Martin guitar players think there's only one guitar, and that's the Martin, right? But Gibson guitar players, only thing is they're still making Martins, and Gibson's gone out of business. Sorry about that. Of course, there again, that could make them more valuable, right? Because they don't. All right. I bought this Martin guitar in 1976. It was 2 years old. That's all the lead I'm going to play tonight. That's why Bill is here. He's the lead guitar player. I was the bass player. Tommy, our younger brother, who's not here tonight, was the drummer. Our sister Rosemary was the one that could actually sing when we were growing up. Those of you, how many of you knew me when I was a kid coming up through here? Anybody? Those of you that knew me when I was a kid knew me when I was little. I had a speech impediment and couldn't talk very plain. So it took me a good part of my growing up years to learn how to talk, let alone sing. So I was kind of a late bloomer. Blake Roberson Jr. did all the singing. I got to sing one song in the band usually. Bobby sang one and Blake sang the rest. This song is a song I wrote back. That one I wrote in 1973. This one I wrote in 1974. There was are we still Facebook Live? Hello, Facebook Live people. Are they making comments? All right, good deal. There was a fella in town. I was about 17 years old anyway, who was an outcast. People made fun of him. Didn't have a job, and I kind of identified with him. And I thought he was treated kind of like an animal by some people even, and so I called him the Coyote. And but this is a song I dedicate to anybody who's ever felt like an outcast, ever been bullied or mistreated by other people because they were a little different, and that goes on, and you may have experienced that, and it's called The Coyote Needs a Woman. Coyote rules the dark of night. Hear his fearless call. Spends the night running restless. He never goes to sleep at all. The prairie is his kingdom, so you might not understand why the coyote needs a woman. Now he's not much to look at. He's bony and losing weight. Dingy black beard and a Wolverine hat. He's the devil's perfect mate. The prairie is his kingdom, so you might not understand why the coyote needs a woman. Each place has a coyote. He prowls the streets at night, and he's no good for working, no. Some say his mind just ain't right. The gutter is his kingdom, so it's not hard to understand why the coyote needs a woman. Yes, the coyote needs a woman. Billy on lead guitar. Yes, and Jack Roberson on harmony vocal. I've always got to pick something to be obsessed about when I do concerts, and whether it's drinking from a water bottle that my wife says I shouldn't do, or tuning my guitar, I'm probably okay. This next song is only one of 2 country songs I've written. I describe my music as a folk acoustic roots music. Y'all didn't bring lawn chairs, huh? Has anybody got any extra lawn chairs? Y'all can come sit up on this pavement over here if you want to. Or on the porch. And I'm supposed to tell you there's bug spray over here. There's a porta potty back there. You don't need that in Facebook Live. And then porta potty, whatever you call them, Johnny on the spot. And then I've got CDs I left here a few years ago that haven't sold yet. They're $5 a piece, and there's like 7 of them of some of my songs. If you want to pick up one of those up, and the money goes 100% to the Ross House. So, but this is a song that I wrote to show a city girl, give a city girl an idea of what life in the country's like. It's called The Lower Place. Colors of the morning sun flow through the trees, they spread across the lake. Coffee from the fireplace warms the chill. The dogs are up and yawning to the smell of bacon frying. In the corner, purring kittens sleep there still. I want to show you life in the country, where people live by nature's pace. And we'll walk across the land, first love I ever had, on a farm we call the Lower Place. Swayback mule eats crushed oats while waiting to be harnessed to the plow. The ground will have to dry for his till. The cool mist rises slowly from the hills on the horizon. The distant sound of a cowbell rings out clear. And I want to show you life in the country, where people live by nature's pace. And we'll walk across the land, first love I ever had, on a farm we call the Lower Place. Take it, Bill. in the country where people live by nature's pace. Sing along! And we'll walk across the land, first love I ever had, on a farm we call the lower place. On a farm we call the lower place. Sue it. Yeah. That's about as country as I get.
Don't start butt dancing.
You take the boy from the country, but you can't take the country from the boy, right? Amen? I know where I come from. Bledsoe County, Pikeville, Tennessee, Sequatchie Valley. If I didn't have to work a job, I'd be up there in the head of the valley somewhere in a cabin, I think, if I could talk my wife into it. We have grandchildren in Knoxville. It'd be hard to rip her away, but thank you all very much. Again, Bill Lee on lead and Jack on the harmony vocals. Can you all hear us okay out there? Okay, good deal. Good to see you, Steve, and Steve's wife, Stanifers, and all the others that came in. The Baileys came in, and others that came in. Some from Knoxville. Raise your hand if you came from Knoxville. Look at all these Knoxville people that are here. Yeah, that's...
They don't know you like we do, Ed.
Y'all know me too well, those of you. That's the problem. This is actually my favorite song I've ever written. I'm going to finger pick this one. In 1976, I was in college at MTSU, and our father had, Ed Lee Jr., he had purchased a cabin up at Twin Lakes Resort, and it's still going, right, Jack?
Yes.
It's still, anybody live at Twin Lakes? Anybody here? Anyway, he bought this cabin at Twin Lakes Resort, and the summer of '76, I lived with him in the cabin. And I just had my heart broken by a girl that I had been dating, and so at night I'd sit on the porch and I wrote this song.
That happened a lot, didn't it?
I didn't have that many girls that...
He stayed on the porch a lot.
There weren't that many girls at all
until Lisa came along.
Until Lisa came along, yeah.
Just want to make it clear.
So this is, I think, the only time I'd had a girl break my heart, actually. And they all broke my heart because they didn't like me. Anyway, enough on that. I wrote this song about this girl, and then after I did meet my wife, Lisa, who's here. Lisa, raise your hand. There she is. Then I decided I needed to rewrite a song. I couldn't have a song about this other girl, so I turned it around and made it about my dad, and through time it became a prayer and a lament for him, a lament and a prayer for him. It's called Twin Lake. Somebody's alarm. Where is that? Are they?
So this is your favorite song?
We're on Facebook Live. There's multiple car horns going off, and I don't know if they belong to anybody in the audience, if that was planned. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Just as I was getting ready to do my favorite song. Thank you. Okay. It's called Twin Lake. Morning at Twin Lake, portraits of you. Sunrise on the hills paints the sky blue. Slumber too long, they fade from his view. Morning at Twin Lake, and you. Living in the mountains, working with his hands, building a homestead foundation of sand. A man without love in a faraway land, loneliness too real to stand. She is a girl from the city, with shades of gold in her hair. It may sound strange, it may sound silly, but he thinks she waits for him there. Evening at Twin Lake, the forest grows quiet. The north wind sings, proud men must fight. But I say a prayer to the author of life. Father, please save him. Father, please save him tonight. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a song. Bill's going to do a song that he's written. He's a songwriter too. And I'll let him tell you anything he wants to say about it.
Thank you, thank you. It's a song called Uncle T.Y. It's about T.Y. Swafford. If any of you around here of a certain age, you might remember him. He was the infamous lawman back in the day. The song's really kind of a blend of songs about T.Y. Swafford himself, sheriff, and other folks that were part of the somewhat lawless history of the Bledsoe County. We all owe a big debt of gratitude to Tommy Swafford, who captured all these stories that Eddie and I grew up hearing from our dad, and many of you probably did too. Wrote them down and preserved them. Ready? Yeah.
Well, up on the plateau, 1930s, they got to clean away with murder 'cause the law was dirty. Oh, right or wrong, it didn't mean a damn. It all came down to a crooked lawman like my Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh why, Uncle T.Y. There was a moonshine flowing like the devil's fountain from a hellhole gulch up the frostbite mountain. Oh, he couldn't bust you up, or he could turn a blind eye. You had to stay straight with my Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh why, Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh why, You even made your mama cry, Uncle T.Y. Now Sheriff T.Y. served at his own pleasure. He was loved and feared in equal measure. Once he was a-dealing with a man who done shot his woman. Bledsoe Justice said she had it coming. Oh, now Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh, why, Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh, why. You even made your mama cry, Uncle T.Y. Take us up there, up on the plateau now. When his heart felt as dark as a midnight grave, he'd like to go and see the girls up at Paradise Cave. Oh, with the moonshine buck dancing in his head, he could forget about the dark life that he led. Oh, now Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh, why, Uncle T.Y. Tell me why, oh, why. You even made your mama cry, Uncle T.Y. Well, up on the plateau, up around Bledsoe, talking about that Uncle T.Y. on the plateau, up in bloody Bledsoe. Up on the plateau, up around Bledsoe, talking about that Uncle T.Y. up on the plateau, up in bloody Bledsoe. Now tell me why, oh why, Uncle T.Y. Why, oh why, you even made your mama cry, Uncle T.Y.
Thank you. Very kind.
All right. Bill Lee, Uncle T.Y. And the reason he was our uncle is he married our great aunt Emma Lee. They lived just a couple doors down. Are we still Facebook Living? All right, this is new and exciting, 21st century. I just got an iPhone about 2 months ago. My wife and my daughter finally said I could have one. I'm a dangerous person, not really like really dangerous, but kind of dangerous to myself sometimes. And so they have to keep me under control a little bit. When it comes to music especially, I love doing this. I love getting to play with my brother and sing with my friend Jack. And this is just real fun. Y'all having a good time? Yeah, good. Really appreciate y'all coming out. Really want to say a thanks to Joan Patton. Where are you, Joan? Where's Joan? Right there, Joan Patton. And the Bledsoe County Genealogical and Historical Society. Did I get that in the right order? Or is it Historical and Genealogical Society? So that's a mouthful, especially for a boy who had a speech impediment. Oh, that sounds pretty nice. Even if it is my guitar. Okay. What's next? How we doing on time? We're doing all right. I may skip that one and go to another one, and we might come back to that one. But let's do Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. We're gonna skip down and do Tennessee. Yeah, we got a bunch of songs, but if y'all, we'll play songs until you all leave, and once you leave, we'll figure out that maybe it's time to quit. But my daughter Hannah, who's responsible for this Facebook Live going on here, lives in Cincinnati. She's the one that encouraged me back in 2004 to actually go into a studio, a little small studio, and record about 12 of my songs for her and her brother and for grandchildren and all that. And that kind of led to me doing some other things with writing and starting writing again. But she told me, she's always given me advice about my music. One thing she says is you need to write love songs, and I'm going to do a love song tonight, at least one. But she also says you need to write a song about Tennessee. And I said, Hannah, I call them Hannah Lisa or Lisa Hannah. I said, Hannah, I said, all my songs are about Tennessee. And she said, no, I mean a song about that is just about Tennessee. And so this is that song. If you ever read the book by Isaac, what's his name, Denicevich? One Day in the Life of Isaac Denicevich by a famous author, what's his name? Well, this is one day in the life of a Tennessee person. In Sequatchie Valley or Tennessee Valley or anywhere in Tennessee, particularly in Sequatchie Valley. Sunrise on the mountains, colors in the sky. The morning star shines brightly, clouds are on the rise. All these things call my name, it's the place I want to be, down in Tennessee. Down in Tennessee. Sunset on the mountains, shades of golden light. The evening star shines brightly, the moon is on the rise. All these things call my name, it's the place I want to be, down in Tennessee. The river runs through the valley, the wind blows through the trees, and from my front porch the skies are clear as far as I can see. And though it is a simple life, it's the only life for me. And I'm so glad I made my home down in Tennessee. Moonlight on the mountains, shadows in the pines. The stars are shining brightly, mist is on the rise. All these things call my name, it's the place I want to be, down in Tennessee. Down in Tennessee. I'm home in Tennessee. Jack says he likes that song. biggest criticism I get about my songs is they're too personal. So I've been trying to write some songs that aren't so personal. You know, they're kind of impersonal. That's a joke.
Universal.
Universal. Okay. This is a brand new song that I have written. I wrote last Saturday, actually. And this summer, I've just noticed with all the rain, how green the grass is and the trees and the plants, and blue the skies and white clouds are, and more so than normal, it seems to me. Maybe my vision's just improving as I'm getting older. I don't know, but we're talking about, my wife and I were talking about maybe getting to go to the British Isles this coming January when our daughter's in Europe with her husband. Then I was at a wedding reception a couple weeks ago and met the great aunt of the bride was from New Mexico. She'd never been to Tennessee before. And I said, well, what do you think about Tennessee? And she said, it's so green. So I woke up last Saturday morning, and as I was waking up, the words, "This green land," came to me. And so I got up and wrote this song. My people sail to this green land from an island across the sea, searching for adventure, longing to be free. This green land, this green land, rivers flow through this green land. The rolling hills, the mountains grand, I'll take my stand in this green land. Here I stand in this green land. They anchored in a harbor and crossed the mountains blue, settled in this valley when the lovely verdant hue. This green land, this green land, the rivers flow through this green land. The rolling hills, the mountains grand, I'll take my stand in this green land. Here I stand in this green land. Some of them were hunters, others worked the mines. Some of them were soldiers, serving country on front lines. Some of them were farmers, many lives were torn. All of them were volunteers, and so this land was born. This green land, this green land, the rivers flow through this green land. The rolling hills, the mountains grand, I'll take my stand in this green land. Here I stand in this green land. This green land. This green land. Rivers flow through this green land. The rolling hills, the mountains grand. I'll take my stand in this green land. Here I stand in this green land. I'll take my stand in this green land.
Thank you.
I was happy that I was able to somehow remember the words, since I just wrote it.
You kind of add a few words here and there. I'm trying to follow you over here yet.
Yeah, it's a hard job that you have.
It's hard making him sound good, I'm telling you.
Well, the rumor has it that when we sang at Elizabeth Robinette's DAR Tennessee Treasure thing back in October, I heard the word on the street was, boy, Eddie Lee really sounds a lot better singing when Jack Roberson is singing with him.
I've been booked for 2 years.
It was actually Jack was the one that told me that, actually.
He was out of town. I got a lot of comments. So
It's difficult because he has to learn how to sing a little flat when he's singing harmony with me, right? Right, Jack?
I just know not to practice. Don't practice with him. You're fine.
Yeah, we never do this same song twice the same way, right?
That's it.
Well, that's like I said, when you write your own songs, you can get away with that.
Yeah, they're his songs, so he can sing them however he wants to.
That's right. That's right.
So here's words. You missed a few.
And I've had lots of people try to give me ideas on how to rewrite them too. I take advice. I get a lot of input. My son gave me a lot of input. He may be listening with our grandchildren. He gave me a lot of good input on that last song. Okay. Now, Bill says this is the best song that I've ever written. Twin Lake is my favorite song. Bill as in Bill Lee. William Allen Lee. And this is a song...
one of them's got to be the best.
There you go. I waited too long. Gave him too much space. This is a song that I wrote. It's a composite of two people who I knew growing up here that had an impact on my life in an interesting way. I called this person the poet from the backwoods. I am the friend of a man who lived the legend of the western land. When he rode his big black horse, he'd hold his head so high and wave to everyone that passed him by. He always wore a 6-gun by his side. I wondered why. It seems when he was just a boy of 10, he saw his cousin killed in a gunfight on the main street of some dirty town. He never lived it down. He's a poet from the backwoods, half dead and half alive. He'd been sober since 45, born 100 years too late. Still he knows the date when Frank and Jesse robbed their last train, and he cries 'cause they took the Western outlaw and hung him high. He's the last of his kind. I would go see him on Sunday afternoons. He'd drink whiskey, then he'd play a tune. He'd always look away before he'd sing the song about the woman he loved and how he did her wrong. He never thought she would break his heart. Break his heart. He was at square dance when she first caught his eye. And 2 years later, she became his bride. But a pistol gave him courage that her love could not match. And the whiskey's the fear of being shot in the back. He's a poet from the backwoods, half dead and half alive. He'd been sober since 45, born 100 years too late. Still he knows the dates when Frank and Jesse robbed their last train. And he cries 'cause they took the Western outlaw and hung him high. He's the last of his kind. Last time I saw him, he hung his head in shame. He was so drunk, he barely knew my name. I wanted to make him smile, so I picked up his old guitar. He stared me in the eye, asking why did I make life hard. He's a poet from the backwoods, half dead and half alive. He'd been sober since 45, born 100 years too late. Still he knows the day when Frank and Jesse robbed their last train. And he cries 'cause they took the Western outlaw and hung him high. He's the last of his kind. He's the last of his kind. He's the last of his kind. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Bill Lee, Jack Roberson. Everybody still having fun? Yeah. Amen. And look, the clouds have taken away the sun, or the sun's going down or something. It's a little bit cooler now. Good deal. Yeah, I don't know. This is not a song I wrote, but let's just do a little bit of that. Your daddy don't dance, and your mama don't rock and roll. Your daddy don't dance, and your mama don't rock and roll. Evening comes around, and you're trying to go to town, where you go to rock and roll. The old folks said you gotta be in bed by 10. When you're out on a date and you bring home late, it's a sin. My wife is shaking her head at me. That's enough. And it's all because you.
Told you don't practice.
My
with
wife
it.
is
Don't practice.
my wife is going, no, no, no.
And it's your mama don't dance and your daddy don't.
Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll? Is that what I said?
No.
What did I say?
Your daddy don't
I,
dance.
I flipped it, huh? Well, that's just like me. Get
If
things
he starts buck dancing, I'm out of here. Just want to let you know.
Who was here a year ago in April when I did buck dance? Okay, that's why you're back, right? I'm gonna wait and do it next year. They want me to come and do this once a year, I think. I'll wait till next year to buck dance so you'll come back again. I ain't buck dancing tonight, not on Facebook Live. Somebody, Agnes, you took a video and put it on Facebook. That was bad enough. I work at a school in Knoxville, and one of my office mates said, I'm gonna pray for you. He'd never seen anything like that. And I said, well, that's why they call it buck dancing, because when you do it, I think they came from the fact that they thought that boy is wild as a buck. That's the purpose. That's the whole idea.
It's interesting that your Martin guitar keeps going out of tune and Bill's Gibson is
I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say that.
For those of you in Facebook world, my wife said it's interesting that my Martin goes out of tune and his Gibson, he's not having to tune it. Well, they've got a steel reinforced neck. Mine doesn't. I'm really just using it as a crutch to stall because I don't know what I'm doing up here.
We've got a whole lot of songs to do. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I know. There's so many of them. How do you choose? Okay, we'll do the one about Dr. Ross, since this is his house, or at least he built it. I think it belongs to Bledsoe County now, doesn't it? Yeah, taxpayers own it now. But this is the legacy of Dr. James A. Ross. It's a song about a legacy of love. Let's see. You ready, Jack? And this is the longest song I've ever written. If I can remember all the words, it'll be great. Let's see. 7 pages? Is that what you said? Well, that's double-spaced. It's a ballad. He came into this valley. He came into this valley. You ready? He came into this valley about 1865. A medic for the boys in gray. He was glad to be alive, searching for the answers to the suffering he'd seen, looking for a way to find some healing to his dreams, some healing to his dreams. Now, oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself, took up his cross. Yes, some things gained and some things lost. Only time will tell. He built a house on Fraser Street that Jenny made a home, and soon the clinic was complete. The vision was their own. People came from miles around. The doctor was their friend. When they couldn't make the trip, he would come to them. He would go to them. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself, took up his cross. Some things gained, some things lost. Only time will tell. Came time to start a family. Firstborn Sydney was a boy. The next one was my great-grandma, Flora Ross. Flora was their pride and joy. The last child followed Daddy's steps. His parents named him Charles. He learned to practice medicine right beside his paw, right beside his paw. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself to pick up his cross. Some things gained and some things lost, only time will tell. Time flew by in 14 years, came knocking at their door. To Jenny B. Ross from husband, 1884. This golden watch was inscribed with words deep from his heart. The watch was just a legacy of a love no one could part, of a love no one could part. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself, took up his cross. Some things gained and some things lost, only time will tell. Years went by, and Flora Ross married Joseph Pope. They called her Grandma Martha Ross, for her they had great hope. Jenny's watch was handed down, at last it came to me. The watch was just a legacy of my true love to be. Actually, the watch was just a wedding gift. I'm messing up these words. For my true love to be, that's you. For my true love to be. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself, took up his cross. Some things gained and some things lost, only time will tell. Now we have a girl of our own, we call her Hannah Ross. I'd like to leave her a legacy, but I'm feeling at a loss. 'Cause Jenny's watch was stolen many years ago, but a thief can never steal this love I've come to know, this love I've come to know. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, denied himself, took up his cross. Some things gained, some things lost, only time will tell, only time will tell. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, a treasure found that once was lost. No one knows what much it cost, and the legacy lives on, the legacy lives on. Oh, the legacy of Dr. Ross, Hannah Ross. I messed that up. The legacy of Hannah Ross. Faithful love cannot be lost. Love endures, no matter the cost, and the legacy lives on. The legacy lives on. Oh, the legacy lives on, and the legacy lives on. Thank you. That I really butchered that one, but you can go to the website. All my music is on Edgar Allan Lee Reverb Nation. You just do Edgar Allan Lee, ALLEN, Reverb Nation. If you'd like to hear all the songs and hear that song done without mistakes,
You'll get a different version.
the problem with that song is I only do it at the Dr. Ross house, and I only do it about once a year. So, anyway,
It's a specialty song.
are you having fun?
Yeah.
Don't you all like his hat? Yeah. Looking good.
Big hat, no cattle.
He's my big brother. He's no cattle, big hat, no cattle.
Big hat, no cattle, probably. You say.
All right, slow it down a little bit and do another song about. This is the home. This house is the home of the, as we already said, Bledsoe Historical and Genealogical Society here in history of the museum. It's a museum for the history of Bledsoe County. What are your? Do you all have hours people can come and see the house? 11 to 3. Okay, so in a week or so, Monday through. Everybody heard but me, I guess. Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 3, if you want to come see the house. Okay. This is audience participation time. No, you don't need to be sorry. I can't hear very well, apparently. Dr. McMahon? A new exhibit of Dr. McManus. Thank you. I need a translator. So that, and I do have CDs, $5 a piece. There's 7 of them if you would like to get a CD, but it's limited editions because I don't have any more. But yeah, genealogy. It's about where you come from and where you're going. And as I mentioned earlier, Bill and I are descended from Burl Russ Lee, who came and settled in the head of the valley with his mother and brother and 4 sisters around 1817. And in 2009, our son Nathaniel was going back to not going back. He was going to law school in Virginia, University of Virginia, and I just thought that was kind of fitting to write a song about that. So it's in 1, 2, 3 time, 3, 4 time. Born in Halifax County, Virginia, in 1804. His parents had moved there from North Carolina not long after the war. They gave him the name Burl Russell Lee. His daddy was known as just Burl. His brother was Robert. His mother was Anna. She was not much more than a girl. And this is a song for Burl Russell Lee and the life that he lived so well. And though he's been gone now a long time ago, his story lives on, I can tell. The west winds were calling, the family did answer. They crossed the Blue Mountain Divide, and over the peaks of the Cumberland Mountains in this valley to abide. His son's name was William, his grandson was Thomas. They cleared and tilled the soil. And then there was Edgar, and his son was Junior, and last I was finally born. And this is a song for Burl Russell Lee and the life that he lived so well. And though he's been gone now a long time ago, his story lives on, I can tell. I have my own son, a wise man who brings his dad joy. And he has a sweet wife, and they have a good life. Maybe one day they'll have their own boy. And he is returning to old Virginia, the land of his forefathers' birth, to study the law and fight for justice, so there might be peace on this earth. And this is a song for Burl Russell Lee and the life that he lived so well. And though he's been gone now a long time ago, his story lives on, I can tell. And this is a song for Nathaniel Lee and the life that he lives so well. And though he's moved on from a place that he loves, his story lives on, I can tell. And they gave him the name Burl Russell Lee not long after the war. Born in Halifax County, Virginia in 1804.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was 2009, and I'm going to go back to 1976. I was the same summer I wrote the Twin Lake song. I was living in my dad at Twin Lake, our dad up there at Lee Jr. at Twin Lake, and some of you will remember Carl and Ruth Brown had a store here. How many remember Carl and Ruth? Yeah, Ruth was she was a Lee. Her dad was Aaron Lee, and I ran into Mr. Lee at the post office one day, one summer, that summer 1976, and Mr. Lee always dressed like he was going to church, had a hat on and tie and suit, and just always looked great. He's about 92 or 3, I think he told me, and I asked him what the secret of his long life was, and he said to me, he looked at me with a twinkle in his eye, and he said, "Son, clean living, haven't touched a drop of whiskey in 50 years. And so it kind of inspired me to write this song. It's called Not That Far Behind. Saw an old friend the other day. Sun is shining bright today. Ain't seen depression in quite a while, and I'll think I'll get by. Was told a secret by an elderly man: live clean as long as you can. Take it easy, take it slow. There's no better way to go. And I've been running a long, long time, trying to find some peace of mind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. And I've been running a long, long time, trying to find some peace of mind. Now I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. mountain over there lives a lady with long brown hair, and she don't believe in sad affairs. Won't be long till I get there. Before you leave, I hope you hear my song. It didn't take very long to say a few words about feeling fine. I hope we meet again some other time. And I've been running a long, long time trying to find some peace of mind. Now I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. I've been running a long, long time trying to find some peace of mind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. Hit it one time, Bill. I've been running a long, long time trying to find some peace of mind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. I've been running a long, long time trying to find some peace of mind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. I can slow down and take my time. I'm not that far behind. Thank you. We're still doing Facebook Live? It's still going, huh? Okay. Are there any requests on it? See any requests? Okay.
Or Jackie.
Like, stop.
What do you say, Billy?
Yeah, we're just looking over the list. Yeah, we're gonna do that one probably. Yeah, gotta do that one too. I'm gonna do a love song because my daughter says I need to write love songs. And so this one I wrote last summer, celebrating. I'm not gonna tell you how many years Lisa and I have been married because she doesn't want me to do that. She doesn't want me to tell you how old we are. But we were coming up to a special anniversary, wedding anniversary, and so I wrote this song about, tells a story about how we met. It's called Made for Me. I remember that summer day when we first met. It was love at first sight, but I didn't know yet you were made for me. I was made for you. After all this time, all that we've been through, you are here for me. You're here for me, and I am here for you. I was young and lonesome. You were searching for true love. We were both lost in the darkness, never looking above. You were made for me. I was made for you. After all this time, all that we've been through, you are here for me, and I am here for you. I wanted to run, I wanted to hide. You didn't let me go. You stayed by my side, and now I know you were made for me. I was made for you. After all this time, all that we've been through, you are here for me, and I am here for you. You were made for me, and I was made for you. Thank you. Thanks to Lisa for making that possible. The only girl that I'll ever love.
I've got some notes she here where she helped on some other songs, Ed. Huh?
Yeah, she helped me write a song called Twilight in Tennessee. Thank you, Jack.
Thought I'd remind you of that.
My Aunt Bonnie, mine and Bill's aunt, I keep forgetting Bill's here. I have to remember that it's not just mine. Bill and me are brothers, and you're our Aunt Bonnie. Raise your hand, Bonnie. Yep. Bonnie Bryant. It's our mother's. Yeah, thank you. She's librarian, music teacher, retired librarian and music teacher, and sings. We have to mention our grandfather was, Ed Lee Sr. was an Appalachian fiddle player, but Bonnie was a piano player and a singer, and so we got some of our musical ability from her, didn't we, Bill?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
It's a serious
What else could you say?
Serious part.
Serious music, like Bach and Beethoven and all Mozart, that kind of stuff. Long-haired musicians. We still Facebook Living? Is anybody still listening or watching?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't get in any hurry, I'm sorry.
7:25.
Who's keeping up with the time?
Let you know.
No, my thought, I said I'll play as long as y'all sit out there and listen. When you get up and start leaving, then maybe we'll get the hint. We actually have till 8 o'clock, so we may not be here that long, but you seem to be interested. So some of you drove from Knoxville or whatever. I don't want you to feel cheated. This is a song, most of the songs that I have written have been influenced by Sequatchie Valley and Pikeville and Bledsoe County and our dad's side of the family, but our mother and aunt grew up in, or spent a lot of their growing up in Saudi, what used to be Saudi, it's now called Saudi Daisy. And their grandfather, growing up, I heard lots of stories about him. We did. And he was a coal miner in Saudi. and just heard lots of good stories about him growing up. And I thought it was time that I write a song about the other side of the family. And his name was Joseph Eccleston Johnston Bond. His father's name was Bartlett Bond. He fought for Joseph Eccleston Johnston in the Army of Virginia before Joseph Eccleston Johnston was injured and Robert E. Lee became the commander of the Northern Army of Virginia. And so when Bartlett Bond came to Tennessee, to Beersheba Springs, in Daddy Joe, well, we called him Daddy Joe. Joseph, he named him Joseph Eccleston Johnston, was born in 1868. He named him Joseph Eccleston Johnston Bond. And they came to Saudi when he was a boy. He ended up working in the coal mines. And this song, but y'all called him Daddy Joe. And that's the name of the song. And I got to get my head wrapped around it so I don't mess this one up. He died on Christmas Day in 1955, and I was only 2 days old, my mother's Christmas gift. Though I never knew him from the stories I've been told, there was no better man around, the man they called Daddy Joe. His name was Joseph Bond, born a blacksmith's son. His people sailed across the sea before our nation's birth. They fought to win their freedom, and they moved to Tennessee and settled in these hills of blue beneath the oak and the evergreen. As Joseph grew, he went to school. He had a thirst to learn, but times were hard. He had to work to help provide support. He became a miner, digging coal beneath the earth. He traded books for those dark caves. He valued family and what it's worth. Daddy Joe was a worker, and he raised a family. He was a husband and a father and a friend. Though I never knew him from the stories I've been told, there was no better man around, the man they called Daddy Joe. He met his precious Julia when they were both still young. He had to court for several years till wife he could afford. And they married one spring day with joy and many tears. Then 3 boys and a girl were born. Her name was Alma Bond, my grandma dear. Daddy Joe was a worker, and he raised a family. He was a husband and a father and a friend. And though I never knew him from the stories I've been told, there was no better man around, the man they called Daddy Joe. Joseph was a Baptist, Julia Methodist. He led the singing at her church, the old rugged cross. But then there was a cave slaving at the mines that broke his back. He never walked upright again. His character grew strong. There was no lack. Daddy Joe was a worker, and he raised a family. He was a husband and a father and a friend. And though I never knew him from the stories I've been told, there was no better man around than the man they called Daddy Joe. And though I never knew him from the stories I've been told, there was no better man around, the man they called Daddy Joe. Thank you. Billy, guitar.
You know Daddy Joe?
Zach Roberson on singing. What?
I knew him.
You knew him?
Yeah, I knew him. It was okay.
You knew him?
Yeah, I knew him.
Yeah. You were 6 years old. No, 4 years old
I was 5.
when he died.
We
Okay.
have a wonderful picture of Bill and Rosemary.
Yeah. So he got to. He knew them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Oh, everybody's in a hurry, not me. Thank you all for coming. You can catch me on Edgar and Lee Reverb Nation if you want to hear some more songs. I've got about 29 of them up there. Yeah, that goes for you too, Facebook Live. Everybody still having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do one. Let's see, one that we haven't done on the list here. I'd like to do this song, and of course it's dedicated to Charlie Kelly. How many of you knew Charlie Kelly? Some of you knew Charlie. Yeah. His name was Charles Samuel Kelly, and he and another friend, I almost drowned trying to save them from drowning, and they both unfortunately died back in 1977. And I wrote this song for Charlie. It's called Samuel's Song. I never thought I'd see the day when I would pass the time away writing a song for you. I guess you'd think it's funny. I thought you'd make it to 99 or maybe even 105. So it's beyond my mind why you left us behind. You took us all the way, left us here alone. What are we supposed to do? Just to keep on loving, keep on smiling, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, the way you used to. That knew your smiling face know of a place deep in our hearts where you came in to stay. We couldn't help but let you, when all our blues were turning gray, and walk right in and brighten the day, telling tales gone by, stretching them to the sky. You took us all away and left us here alone. What are we supposed to do? Just to keep on loving and keep on smiling, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, the way you used to. Oh, you took us all the way and left us here alone. What are we supposed to do? Just to keep on loving and keep on smiling, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, the way you used to. Thank you all very much. You all have been a wonderful audience. You still are. I'm not trying to get rid of you. And listen to the critters. Tell me, those tree frogs or cicadas? We have a lot of cicadas coming out this year. What is it? Every 7 years we get a bunch of them. No, is that cicadas? Huh? Locust? I'm trying to get some response. That's really nice just listening to that, isn't it? Peaceful. I love this place. I wish I could just live on this back porch. Put a little tent here. Well, it might be, yeah, maybe so.
Hey, thanks again to Joan Patton and the Ross House for having us out here again. And actually, I want to say thanks to Wanda Lee for suggesting it the very first time we did it, back in 2010, I guess. So thank you, Wanda.
Yes, thank you, Wanda. Yes, that was her idea originally when we first came. So thanks to Joan Patton, thanks to Wanda Lee for thinking of us doing this back in 2010. Thanks to Bill, thanks to Jack. Thanks to my wife who just brought me some water.
Thanks to Chloe.
What did you say?
Thanks to Chloe.
Chloe. Thanks to Chloe, my niece. Yes. She's a good drummer. Okay, let's, this is a song that I wrote for my mother. Anne Bryant Lee. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. We all have mothers. They don't get the credit they deserve. So I wrote this song to give her the credit she deserves. It's called Stargazer. It was Christmas time many years ago, 'neath the starry winter's light. The best Christmas gift I ever received was given me that night. Some say it's magical when a newborn baby cries, but I received a miracle when my mother gave me life, when my mother gave me life. She said, gaze at the stars and wonder, see the beauty in the sky. Sweet dreams as you slumber, baby, don't you cry. She was a city girl in a small town world, but her dreams were big and bright. Books and poetry filled her mind, The lyrics gave her sight. Some say it's magical when a newborn baby cries, but I received a miracle when my mother gave me life. When my mother gave me life. She said, gaze at the stars and wonder, see the beauty in the sky. Sweet dreams as you slumber, hear the poets cry. I was a little boy with much to say, but could not be understood. She found the key, unlocked the door, and gave me the gift of words. Some say it's magical when the newborn baby cries, but I received a miracle when my mother gave me life. When my mother gave me life. She said, gaze at the stars and wonder, see the beauty in the sky. Sweet dreams as you slumber, sound the poets cry. It was Christmas time many years ago, 'neath the starry winter's light. Thank you very much. Okay, I've got a couple more songs about the valley that we want to do, and trying to think if there's something else we want to do before that. We'll do a couple songs about the valley. Maybe we'll end with the valley, second valley song. I'm trying to think if there's one more. I don't think so. We've done a lot of them. I told them both I wasn't going to talk a lot. I think I've done pretty well, haven't I? Everybody got applause on that? Yay. Can I get an amen on that, Michael? Amen? Didn't talk too much, maybe? Maybe talk too much for some people's taste. We had a friend that used to go to church with us. He was blind, no joke. And we would go by and pick him up, take him to church because he was blind, and it wasn't a good idea for him to be driving a car, right? So he needed a ride. And he took, I gave him a CD of a live recording that had introductions to it. And he took the CD and redid it without any of the introductions, just so he could just listen to the songs. And he was really proud of himself. And he played it for me. And the recording quality was terrible. It really was really bad. But that was the way Butch was. He'd just rather hear the bad recording of the songs than to hear me talk. So I'm not for everybody. Some people are uncomfortable with me. But I've kind of gotten to where I'm comfortable with who I am, and don't apologize. Okay, we're going to do a the not as upbeat valley song that I wrote in December, and then we're going to do the more upbeat valley song, talking about Sequatchie Valley, and then we'll do one more that we're going to close with. And this one I wrote in December is kind of a reprise of my Sequatchie song. There's mosquitoes up here. Can you hand me my pick? I don't want Bill to fall asleep on me. Okay.
Which one you
I
doing?
love your hat. We're going to do in the Valley. It's in the key of G. Bill's a more versatile musician than me. He likes to kick. That's a mosquito I'm killing with my bare. There's another one I'm getting with my bare hands. What a amazing. Anyway, we still Facebooking.
Facebook.
Now they're trying to get my face. Okay, maybe they're trying to tell me something. This is a song I wrote as a reprise, so to speak, of the Sequatchie song that I wrote when I was 17. It's called In the Valley, A Day in the Valley. Daybreak in the valley, winter snow. Let me try that again. This is a new song. Daybreak in the valley, winter snow. Saddle up the horses, long, long way to go. My mind goes back in time when I was just a boy, living in the valley, the place where I was born. Sundown in the valley, back home on the farm. Saddles in the bunkhouse, horses in the barn. My mind goes back in time when I was just a boy, living in the valley, the place where I was born. Can you feel that mosquito on my arm? It's on my arm. Midnight in the valley, starry light, hoot out in the treetop, bids the world good night. My mind goes back in time when I was just a boy, living in the valley, the place where I was born. My mind goes back in time when I was just a boy, living in the valley, the place where I was born. Thanks for the whoop and the applause. Yeah, we're not making excuses. We just didn't rehearse any, and I don't play the concert about twice a year, so I'm not a professional, but I'm on Facebook Live, so hi.
You are tonight.
And thank you all, too. Yeah, I'm professional in that, no, I'm not a professional. We didn't charge for you to be here, and we're not paying us to be here. We're happy to be here, but we're here because we love Dr. Ross House and the Genealogical Society and the Historical Society and Pikeville and Bledsoe County, right?
That's right.
All right, another Valley song, and then I've got one more and we'll be done.
Seems like it's twilight in Tennessee.
Twilight in Tennessee? Oh, you want me to do that one? Okay, I'll try. This is a song that Lisa and I wrote together, and kind of tells the story of raising our kids. I haven't done this much in public, but it's on the website. I'll try to do it. Mama, okay, that's all right. Bill can play. It's just my typical G, A, B minor, F sharp. You know me, E minor. Let's see. It's called Twilight in Tennessee. Coming home from work at the end of the day, there'll be little ones hugging my knees. A kiss from, I wasn't prepared, Lisa, sorry. Coming home from work at the end of the day, there'll be little ones hugging my knees. A kiss from my darling as the evening comes calling. Twilight in Tennessee. After supper, the dishes are washed up by hand to the sound. Let's see, the sound of a rumble. Thank you, of a distant freight train. Put the kids into bed, the prayers being said. Twilight in Tennessee. Twilight in the hills of Tennessee. Misty mountains rising. I'm supposed to sing Smoky Mountains. I was going to change it. Twilight in the hills of Tennessee. Smoky Mountains rising as far as I see. There's no place I'd rather be. Twilight in Tennessee. Twilight in Tennessee. Singing old country songs on a front porch swing, picking blackberries from the vine, catching fireflies in June, and dancing with my darling neath the light of a Tennessee moon. Twilight in the hills of Tennessee. Smoky Mountains rising as far as I see. There's no place I'd rather be. Twilight in Tennessee. And the hoot owls call, and the whippoorwills song, and the crickets symphony. All of these things remind me I'm home in Tennessee. Now the children are grown and have kids of their own, and they come for a visit now and then. But my best friend for life is my darling sweet wife. Twilight, twilight in Tennessee. Twilight in the hills of Tennessee. Smoky Mountains rising as far as I see. There's no place I'd rather be. Twilight in Tennessee. Twilight in Tennessee. Twilight in Tennessee. right, Twilight in Tennessee. I'll do that one more often. Co-written by me and Aggie, is what the grandkids call her, Aggie.
That'll be on the set list next time.
I got to work that one up. Yeah, when your wife asked you to do a song that she helped you write and you didn't have planned to do it, that's bad. So my bad. That's why I went ahead and made you all go through that. Okay, the next Valley song we're going to do, actually, yeah, we're going to do Valley song and then we're going to do one more, and we might go over a little bit past 8, but we didn't say what time we were going to stop in the newspaper anyway, or on Facebook. We just said we were starting at 6 and you're here, so I won't be back for another year. So this is a memory I have of riding my green Ford pickup truck, 1967 Ford pickup truck when I was in college. One of my favorite things to do is take the Northeast Valley Road here and drive all the way up to the head of the valley. And it was common, and I imagine it still is around here, to say, when it's time to go home, if you live up the valley from where you are, to say it's time to head up the valley. So that's the name of the song. Bouncing in a pickup, a Ford Farmer green. Music starts to rise and we begin to sing. Rolling past a church house, a ridge on either side, climbing through the foothills, reaching for the sky. It's so good to be headed up the valley again. It's so good to be headed up the valley. It's so good to be headed up the valley again. It's so good to be headed up the valley. Ready? Mr. Bill Lee, give him a hand. And now that I am older and loss has moved away, and life is much too busy to think of yesterday. But sometimes in the morning, when the dew is on the rise, I go back to the valley. In my mind I take that drive. It's so good to be headed up the valley again. It's so good to be headed up the valley. It's so good to be headed up the valley again. It's so good to be headed up the valley. Woo! Do it again, Jack. It's so good to be headed up the valley again. It's so good to be headed up the valley. One more time. It's so good to be headed up the valley. We're getting that up. One more song and we're going to
Thought you was going to start preaching.
preaching.
Gospel.
I've been known to do that. Oh man, this is speaking of the gospel, the good news. This is a song I like to end with. It's a song about my two favorite people. It's a song about enduring love, eternal love. After banging on the guitar like that, I'm sure it's needs a little assistance. Most strings go flat, Bill. These strings go sharp sometimes.
Do you have a van that you're serving breakfast out of?
This is where it's called Love Is Here to Stay. Maybe I'll just strum it so that I'll just strum it. There's a sparkle in my woman's eyes, a smile warm as the sun, a little girl excitement, picking daisies just for fun, honeysuckle blooming in the spring perfumes the air, love flows from within her, the Lord is there. She's the sunrise of each morning, the rainbow of my day, the twinkle in the midnight sky, the love that lights the way. And her love is here to stay. There is one far greater than man in all his pride, and he's the unity of the husband and the bride. His light shines brighter than the sun and stars above. So he became like you and me to share eternal love. He's the sunrise of each morning, the rainbow of our day, twinkle in the midnight sky, the love that lights the way, and his love is here to stay. The sunrise of each morning, the rainbow of each day, twinkle in the midnight sky, the love that lights the way, and his love is here to stay. that is the end.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Be safe on your way home. And hope to see you maybe next year, either here or maybe at the head of Sequatchie or Edgar Only, Reverb Nation. Check out Bill's band, not the Sound Dogs, Red Rogues. That's our brother Tommy's band, Sound Dogs in Middle Tennessee. Red Rogues play in Chattanooga. Thanks for coming.